Hello everyone, welcome again in Eng-Man YouTube channel. So we will continue our learning on GAP software for oil network modeling. All right, so now we already have the reservoirs and wells are defined. In this video, we are going to generate wells IPR. Okay, so once all the wells have been created and associated with the Prosper file, the IPR can be generated in GAP in a batch mode. All right, so from the GAP main window, let's find the generate here, generate button, and we select generate well IPRs from Prosper. Or let me check it once again. Yeah, here, generate well IPRs with Prosper. Okay, and then select all. You see here we have all the 6 wells, 1A, 1B through 3B. Okay, you can also uncheck everything and just select each well that you want to run, that you want to generate the IPR of that well. You can also select it one by one, or you can also, do like this. You highlight all the wells, and then you select them. Highlight them, you select them, and then you can generate. All right, and then what else? Let's generate. Okay, so IPR generate finished. It's very, very, very good. So let's click on OK and then OK again. Okay, so now let's see what happens inside each well. Or maybe I just review one well because all the 6 wells will have the same thing. The IPR has been generated. So let's see what happens in the well 2A. So just double click on well 2A. Okay, so this is inside well 2A from summary that I show you in previous video. Now I go to input, and here input we have control, IPR, VLP, coning, constraints, downtime, tanks, and schedule. But now let's focus on the IPR itself. So layer 1 invalid, still invalid, so it's okay. When tank connection, reservoir A, you see here. So it's already connected to reservoir A, which is very good. And then IPR type, as usual, by default, it's straight line plus Vogel. And now PI has been populated because now we are already connected with the Prosper. So now we have the IPR, sorry, we have the PI, which is 7.149 or 7.15. By the way, as we entering the well 2A, you can see this sort of orange, like red box. You see here, bigger than the red circle. It means that we are highlighting or we are reviewing well 2A. Okay, and then let's see, we have the layer pressure here and layer temperature here. You see, we also have the fluid properties, okay, associated with the Prosper file, the oil gravity, API, and then gas gravity, GOR, water cut, still 8%, with water salinity 23,000 ppm. And you can also review the IPR curve by selecting on plot. You see here. So we have already the IPR for each well because the IPRs are taken from the Prosper file. I don't think I need to show you each of the Prosper file. If you're interested, I've done that in previous series using, gas case. Okay, this is about oil case. In previous series, I talk about the gas case. All right. Okay, you can also play with, or here, edit plot settings. You can play with this, the general, you can change the axis, left axis, right axis, series, data, you can copy everything and then paste on spreadsheet and generate or draw your own IPR. animation export, and so on and so forth. And then, yeah, you can set the curve, set the plot with all of these settings, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, so this is again our IPR, and then close. Lastly, before leaving the IPR section, we need to access the More tab here. We are now entering the IPR layer. So inside IPR, we have 4 windows: IPR layer, More, Grid View, Abandonment. This is the constraint for abandonment. Now let's go to More, and we need to select the set of rel perms for fractional flow. All right, for fractional flow prediction to be, like in this case, I prefer to set it to be from tank model. So prediction for fractional flow will be taken from the MBAL, from the tank model. This is important to determine the water cut and also the GOR produced by each well, which should be based on, of course, rel perms, relative permeability, that were generated during the history matching, which is performed in MBAL software. Okay, so again, relative permeability for prediction of fractional flow model. We will take the relative permeability, we will copy, we will take sort of the fractional flow model from the MBAL, which is in this case MBAL for reservoir A. Okay, and then what else? So from tank model, which is very good. And you just need to repeat all of this in all of the wells. Okay, you can review the IPR for each well. You can connect, or you need to connect the fractional flow model, from the tank model. Okay, and the IPR section of each well will then become green, indicating that all of the fields necessary to define the IPR section have been updated. Okay, so like this, now the IPR has become green. So IPR layer already good, More already good for the fractional flow model. Grid review good. You see here, it's just grid review. You already know everything: layer pressure, temperature, PI, and then water cut, but in grid review or in grid view, including the fractional flow, right? You can also change it here. Okay, and then so it's good. You can click on OK. So now the connection has no red circle here. Okay, so it's good. And I'm going to do the same thing with all of these wells. But you still see red circle on well 2A. That's okay because we still haven't dealt with the VLP. For well, we are dealing with not only IPR, but also VLP. And we will do that later on. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for all of the 6 wells. And I think I'm going to close it here and see you again in the next video. Thank you.